lonesome whistle of a train. I'm the amber waves of grain. I'm the highway, I'm the farm, fertile fields and boulevards, the hand that rests over your heart. Oh, I'm the echo of the bell that's ringing. Oh, I'm the freedom in the song we're singing. I'm the seed that's in the dust. I'm the prayer in God we trust. A place to dream for all of us. I'm America. Dance, the open window to a chance, the place where courage takes a stance. All the colors that you see, the lights from 30,000 feet. Yeah, I'm the roar of victory. Oh, I'm the echo of the bell that's ringing. Oh, I'm the freedom in the song we're singing. I'm the seed that's in the dust. I'm the prayer in God we trust. A place to dream for all of us. I'm America. I'm America. I'm the fathers, I'm the sons. I'm the footprints in the mud. I'm a shelter washed in blood. Oh, 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 oh. I'm the seed that's in the dust. I'm the prayer in God we trust. A place to dream for all of us. I'm America. I'm America. I'm America. I'm America.
Welcome to HomeFront Sitrep. I hope you're in for a great show today, because I'm just a veteran talking about what's on my mind and maybe yours.
You can find HomeFront Sitrep on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, or wherever you find your favorite podcasts. You can also check out HomeFront Sitrep's YouTube channel.
Buckle up, the show is starting.
Mic in hand, ready for deployment. Podcast feels heavy as the ointment. Veteran tales straight from the trenches. Pop culture splices, pulling down the fences. Homefront sit rap, stories that collide. Veterans speaking truth, no reason to hide. Gritty and raw podcast on replay, decoding the past, paving the way. War zone whispers, bullets and bombs. Back to civilian ticking like a time bomb. Medals on the mantle, scars on the mind. Every episode another mystery to find. Homefront sit rep, voices from the fight. Veterans sharing dark, stepping into light. Real life saga, not some fairy tale. Truth and resilience, never gonna fail. Homefront sit rep, stories that collide. Veterans speaking truth, no reason to hide. Gritty and raw podcast on replay, decoding the past, paving the way. War zone whispers, bullets and bombs. Back to civilian ticking like a time bomb. Medals on the mantle, scars on the mind. Every episode another mystery to find. Legacy 11X, story of Marines. Army anecdotes, Gulf War scenes. Vietnam echoes, Desert Storm sounds. Podcast chronicles, glory and bounds. Homefront sit rep, honesty is core. Veterans laying bare what they endure. From the front lines to the homebound grief. Episodes of grit, grind through the grief.
Welcome, everybody, to a Monday edition of Homefront Sit Rep. How is everybody doing? Gunny, how are you, sir?
Good, man. Good. Representing Napa Racing Team today. Chase Elliott, he won the Clash at Bowman Gray last night. That was awesome to watch. I've been there for some of the modified races, and dude, watching the Cup guys go around that small track was something else. And then, last week it was announced that I was I guess the January 2025 Soldier Coach of the Month for Soldiers of the Sideline. So pretty stoked about that. The wife and I will be heading out to the gala here at the end of the month. So
Heck
yeah,
yeah.
just a big shout out to Harrison and everybody at Soldiers Sidelines.
Heck yeah, man. That's awesome. Yeah, I seen you post that on Facebook, and it's a great honor to get, because a lot of times that honor they bestow on like a football coach or a basketball coach, and here you are a coach of a skydive, a professional skydive team that skydives into sports stadiums, and for you to get the Soldier Coach of 2025 for January, that's friggin' phenomenal. I gotta fit it in there, Gunny. Gotta fit it in there. That is phenomenal, brother.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Well, the thing is, reading Harrison's book, it makes you realize that it's not just about the stick and ball, right? It's about inspiring others to do, something they don't want to do, or just inspiring others, period. When the jumpers leave the plane and unfurls that 1,100 to 8,000 square foot American flag, and then when they touch deck, the roar of the crowd is just unbelievable. And I struggled with the nomination for a little bit at first, if I even deserved it. And then I had a lunch with a friend of mine and told her about it. And she's like, "Get out of your ego, man." She goes, "It's not always about you." She goes, "Somebody
Yeah.
out there is going to read this and read about your life events, your life story, and they're going to be inspired by it. And it's going to they're going to want to do better." And so,
Yeah.
big shout out, a big thank you to Cheryl Dillon for, putting, boot to butt, I guess, and snap me back to reality a little bit. We all need it from time to time. How's
Oh yeah.
your week? You got any physical therapy and stuff going on?
Yeah, so I had physical therapy this morning. Got it taken care of. Knee got bent to about 96, 97. So way better than I have been getting. Finally did get released to go back to work, which is a good thing. The doc he don't think we're going to need to do a revision, so he's not going to have to open me back up as of right now. So we're just going to keep pushing with the PT that I have left, and then just go from there. I'm hoping once I get back to work and start work, moving on it daily, that it'll start stretching the patella tendon and everything, and getting back to somewhat normal. They say it's about a year long recovery from a complete knee replacement. So we'll see. But other than that, man, everything's going good. My daughter had a speech and debate over the weekend at Trinity. She placed fourth in poetry, and then her team placed fourth in the district, which is a pretty good deal. So I'm super excited. My other daughter, my oldest daughter, the senior, she did her archery competition at Central Hardin and scored a 270, I believe, out of 300, which is pretty phenomenal. So, but other than that, man, everything's going good. Super excited to have everybody that's come over from TikTok that's watching right now and commenting in chat. We do have two great guests getting ready to come on. We got Valhalla Viking, and then we got Magnus Stormbreaker, aka Chris Thorne, will be coming on here in just a few minutes to talk about a new project that is going to involve all veterans, pretty much as many veterans as possible. So we're going to be bringing them up in just a few minutes. And I think TikTok, I think I figured it out. I think it is streaming right now on TikTok. There are 3 people on TikTok watching. Super excited about that. We're going to see how that works throughout the whole episode. But
Yeah. It only took a year to try to figure that piece out, right?
right. Well, I had to, I didn't have a laptop until Christmas. So luckily I got a laptop, and I think I got it figured out. Like I said, there is 3 people on TikTok watching right now. So if you're watching on TikTok, comment in there, because I can see it here on the screen. But super excited about that aspect of getting things on TikTok. And before we bring our guest up, I want to give our partners at Heroes Media Group, Reach Across America Radio, Veterans Voice Radio, Military United Podcast Streams a shout out. You guys are amazing. Your support throughout the last 2 years, because we will be 2 years old at the end of the month. So that's friggin'
Yeah.
awesome. And and so if you like listening to the podcast, Homefront Sitrep is on Reach Across America Radio Thursday nights at 11 p.m. ish Eastern. The link is at the bottom of the screen if you're watching. If you're listening, it's www.reaceacrossamerica.org/radio, or you can download the iHeartRadio, iTunes, or iHeartRadio app, Audacity app, or the TuneIn app, and search the word Wreath, and you can find Homefront Sitrep on there as well. So, but yeah, no, man. So, Echoes of Asgard, like I like watching Viking shows on TV. Like it's just random, like The Last Kingdom, Vikings Valhalla, Vikings, anything that relates to Vikings or medieval times. I like watching. When it comes to the Danes fighting the Brits and stuff like that, that's something that I've always got into. Well, when I was on TikTok and I ran across Valhalla Viking and started listening to what he was doing and stuff like that, and he was talking about Echoes of Asgard, how it's a new TV series that's going to incorporate nothing but veterans and focus on the Norse gods, but not just the primary big Norse gods, but all of them. I was like, man, that's super cool. So we started talking, and he was telling me more about it. I was like, dude, I'd love to get you on the podcast to talk about it. And he's like, let's do it. And here we are. So
Yeah,
without
dude, it's
further,
crazy. So we did one of the DNA tests, send it off. They bring you back your stuff right. And my dad passed away when I was 8, so I didn't know what his lineage was. So it come back, and I'm like, North Wales up into that Nordic area is my heritage and my background. I was like, oh, I come from Vikings, yes. And then you're like, hey, we got these guys coming on that are doing this. I was like, sounds right, sounds all right for me.
sounds
So,
like Gunny might need to play a part in this TV series, maybe.
I don't know,
Maybe.
man. I've seen their beards. I might have to get a beard transplant to try to get in line
Beard
with what they got
extensions?
going on. I mean, yeah, man, I thought mine was pretty sexy, and then I see these guys earlier. I was like, man, I got nothing. I've got nothing.
Well, I can grow a beard and it gets long and scraggly like this, so I can make it look sexy. But the wife don't like the side. She likes this. This is okay, but she don't like the side. So it is what it is. So, but anyway, let's bring our guest up, man. I'm super excited to bring them up on the show and hear their story. Gentlemen, welcome to Homefront Sitrep. How are you guys doing?
Hey, I'm doing outstanding. Hearing you guys talk and talking about our vets. Much love to each and every one of you. Thank you.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So it's our pleasure to have you guys on here. Like I said, we love supporting veterans, anything veterans, and you guys being two amazing veterans that is putting this project together, the co-creators. Man, it's amazing. And like I said, I love Viking lore. I love just watching the old Viking shows and stuff like that. So thank you guys for coming on and sharing an hour or two with us here, depending on how long we go. But if you don't mind, do me a favor. We'll start out with Valhalla Viking up here. Introduce yourself to the Homefront Sitrep crowd, my friend.
All right. Well, I go by Valhalla Viking, and a stage name is Christopher Tormod. I used to give out my full name, my real government name, but I got doxxed a lot. So, it happens when you start getting up there in the ranks of social media. So I learned my lesson pretty quick on that. But yes, I am a Army veteran. I blew out my knees and my back and got a med discharge, and they said, hey, you're not going to walk. I'm like, yeah, watch me. So anyway, I fought through all of that, and I walk. And I became law enforcement after that. And after about 3-4 years, I knew that my body said, okay, you got to quit doing this because it could get dangerous. So I listened to myself. I didn't let that pride overwhelm my ass. And I stepped down and just, I've always wanted to help people, and that's how I've always been. And I honestly, I don't care where anybody falls in any kind of group or whatever, I always lead with respect and love, and treat people how I want to be treated, and that's how I live my life. And I got with Chris not that long ago, and he was bringing out some really cool things that he had going, and I'll let you tell about that. But I absolutely, in the long run, well, it wasn't that long. It took a little minute, but I got in and I said, let's go. And then we'd been, if you were in the Air Force, all the Air Force vets, wheels up, right? So it's been wheels up ever since, and it's been one hell of a journey. And I tell you what, it's not the easiest thing to do, going against some big competition, but we're making it happen. And we're vets. We've been through this. We ain't gonna quit. But I don't want to say too much yet, because Chris is the actual founder, the main idea, and I just came on and became and we just keep adding to it, and it's getting epic. So, but I'll let him go ahead and introduce. Well, I do have 6 kids. I love to make kids. Apparently, Viking, yeah. And
Right.
Samuel was talking about it a little bit about the heritage, and I did that too. I did mine in mainly Norwegian, Danish, a little bit of Icelandic. So I guess I'm made for the cold. I do like the cold. Yeah. It's great. And I can grow this. You can't even fit in your screen, you guys. Right? This beard. But yeah, I mean, it's just been a hell of a ride, and it's going to get even better. We want to incorporate as many of our veterans as possible to this thing, and that goes with cast, crew, everything, every form of it. We invite them all, every one of you guys and girls, get in here. Let's go. But I'm going to drop it and let Chris introduce himself real quick, and I could talk all day. I'm a talker. I ran for governor too. I forgot to mention that. I ran for governor in my state of Illinois. I was doing really well. I could tell you a little more about that in a minute. So, Chris, go ahead.
Thanks. Yeah, he is a talker. But
yes.
No, I'm Chris Thane, and the original founder of Echoes of Asgard. I served in the Navy. You can drop all the jokes you want in the chat. That's absolutely fine. And I served for a little over 4 years. I ended up with my knees being shot, and I got out. Had a bit of a struggle coming out, so I can relate to that. I'm not going to go too deep into what I did in the military, but coming out of it, I started to sort of understand a little bit better. Some of the issues mentally, and I was very much into Norse paganism. So it's something that I have a belief in, that I have a spiritual belief in. And upon reading the stories, I was going to dig deeper, and then sort of figured, well, why don't I make a TV series about this rather than doing some YouTube shorts? And I feel like it's kind of like honoring the ancestors, honoring the past. And then I met this guy up here at a Viking festival of all places, and really we really bonded, and it's that type of bond that you get in the military, that you just know you're going to mesh well. It's going to be a good deployment, so to speak, and you got each other's backs, and that's where we hit it off, and we were like, all right, let's do this together.
Heck yeah. So how did you come up with the idea of doing a TV series about Vikings, and what was your initial push for that?
The initial push was actually kind of looking around for, honestly, the past 4 years have just been somewhat a struggle, and probably I'm speaking for perhaps a lot of people. It's been a really tough time, and when I look back on the lore, a lot of Norse pagan lore, Viking lore is very much a struggle. Even watching the Viking series, it's a constant battle and a struggle, and so I thought of it as what better way to kind of explain the situations that we're in today in a modern setting, but in an ancient story, and just stay true to it.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. So have you watched like The Last Kingdom and Vikings Valhalla and all of that? So how are you gonna, so some of those guys, they only focus on like the main gods, like Freya and Odin and Loki and stuff like that. How is your show going to be different from their show?
So it's going to bring in all of the gods, because kind of like on a spiritual sense, it's unfair for somebody who may believe in a completely different god that isn't really spoken about properly. Everything's more about a relationship when we talk about the gods on the Norse pagan side of things. So for me, I can relate to Thor. So I've had a lot of struggles. I wasn't a war general. Thor was, but it just allows the story to be more open and more expressive to people, to the audience themselves, so they can understand. And it just makes the story bigger and better, really.
Yeah, I like that. I definitely like that.
Yeah, we want to kind of grab a hold of each god and put him out there or her out there and show the story, and kind of without giving away a whole lot, because this industry is it's dog eat dog. So we don't want to give away a whole lot, but we definitely are going to go in depth with a majority of them. You'll hear me stammer a lot because I'm trying not to say things that we shouldn't put out there. But I apologize for that. It's just the way the world is now. But we are definitely going up against a machine, and I'll tell everybody that even has a tiny bit of an aspiration to do something like this, do it. We need more of us to stand up and do what we love, do it. We may not even know we're that good at it until we start doing it. I didn't certainly know I was as good as I was until I got with Chris, and gave him some of my input, which we're putting in the series as well, which is really going to bring a lot of people together. I think we have a very big plan with we could just say with religion in general. There's a lot of really cool thing. I wish I could tell you guys. I just want to open it up and let it out, but we can't do that. But there's going to be some really cool stuff. So everybody's going to feel included. Everybody's going to be included in this series. And we've talked to some pretty high up people in the industry, and they themselves, their own words, said this is a movement. This isn't a show. This isn't a series. This is a movement. And we agree. It's time for we the people to start coming together and just accepting for what things are, but still stand on your morals, stand on yourself, be proud. And that's really, if anybody's ever watched my TikTok, that's what I'm all about. It's about stopping the hate, leading with love, being proud of each other. We're all equal, but defend yourself and each other with extreme ferocity. I mean, that's just, and really this series is basically that. It was really, I guess it would be a breath of fresh air when I started talking with Chris at the fest, and finding out that that's what his vision was with this series, and it just fit right in. It's amazing.
So when it comes to finding like people to play the characters, you're going to look for veterans to play the parts. What is that process going to be like? Because there's a lot of people out there that on social media, they play Vikings, like Tank Tomlinson for one, and there's quite a few others that have big social media followings. Have you thought about including some of those people, even though they might not be veterans, but including them into the series as well?
Yeah, I mean that's something I've talked to a lot of people with. We are okay. There's a normal Hollywood pool, right, of actors, actresses, and they've been promised things by directors and casting directors and things, so that there's a pool, and it's really hard for anybody and everybody to get into it, even if they're talented. So Chris and I decided very early on, we're going to start picking from social media. We're going to show Hollywood that social media and TikTok as the main catalyst, there is so much talent on TikTok, and it just is just amazing. It's like, again, a breath of fresh air just to see all the talent. And we've been picking some great ones from social media, but TikTok, I mean, that's just, I know Chris probably wants to elaborate on that too, so I'll let him give his in there too.
Yeah, it's very much about community for me more than anything. Community is a huge thing. I mean, I used to live in Virginia. I used to do little fire pits for all the locals. We used to talk all kinds of stuff, military and politics, whatever's going on, and just really be together and kind of connect and bond. And that's really where a lot of the ideas of, we'll give people a chance, give people an opportunity. Obviously we can't push people and say, hey, no, I really want you to be this part, because we don't know their schedule, we don't know their skill set. So really the option is always going to be there for them, and we'll be there for them too. So we'll always, guide people. If your aspiration is to be an actor, we want to help with that. We absolutely want to help and support that in the best way possible. Kind of like when I said about each god has their own character that you can relate to. That's something else. When people are planning on auditioning, they can look into that and see if they perhaps fit that role, if they relate to it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it definitely makes sense for sure. So if somebody that's watching this now or watching later wanted to be a part of what you guys are doing, what you guys are creating, how would they go about reaching you guys to become a part of it?
Well, the best way to get a hold of us right at the moment is I have my website. It's valhallavikingv2k.com. And we decided we're just going to throw the stuff up there. A lot of people know Valhalla Viking and the famous row, which I'll probably do. I always have to do the row. But yeah, go to valhallavikingv2k.com. And in the middle of the page, if you're on a computer, otherwise, if you're on a phone, you can swipe down a little bit. But it says, do you want to be a part of Echoes of Asgard? Click on that. And then it'll have an email page that you can fill out, put in whatever you're interested in. If it's cleaning the toilets, if it's, acting as Freya, whatever it is, put it in there. And it goes through our email system. We have a secretary now, thankfully, because it was getting really busy, very busy. But yeah, get in there and we set up an interview. We do Zoom interviews. That way nobody has to spend money to go anywhere or do anything. Usually it's just Chris and I, and we'll watch your performance, and then we'll get back and give an answer. It's been a pleasure to do it, by the way. And
So
also
you
go ahead.
Valhalla Viking VK2
V2K.
V2K.
That's the V2 Kingdom. Yes. .com.
All right, so I can put that in the chat there. So
Oh,
people
sure.
can go. Yeah.
But we also, what is a really cool part about this too, and Chris talked about it too, and this is really his big passion, is to help others, right? Mine as well. But not just doing, if you just being part of the show. If you get selected, we encourage you to learn how to shoot video, different angles, different settings, different lighting, editing, and all that. Use it to your advantage. Use it for your social media account, and perfect yourself, and you'll make yourself grow. Because at the end of the day, you're trying to make yourself successful. You're building your own portfolio. And the more you do, and the better, more knowledge. I play Odin on Echoes of Asgard, so knowledge is huge for me. I love knowledge, and as everybody else should as well. But it helps you to learn more about the process. Social media is similar to film, and if you are filming in ways that they do on TV and on movies, you're going to be a social media star. So. We just want to help each other out and give every bit of information that we can to help somebody be successful as well, especially our vets.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. So the website's scrolling across the bottom of the screen. It's ValhallaVikingV2K.com. It's also in the chat there. So if you click on it, it will take you to the website. And like you said, right in the middle of the screen, it says Echoes of Asgard, and it's moving, so you can see it. It's pretty plain as day right there in front of you.
Hello.
Yeah, it's like, hello, I'm here. So definitely click on it. Now, with any project, you have to raise funds to do any kind of sort of thing. So if somebody out there that's watching or whatever, watching, listening, or whatever, want to donate to the project, it looks like they can go on the website as well and donate there as well on the main screen.
Yeah. There's a link on there for donations. Now that mine is on there as well. So if somebody wants to donate $1 or 100,000 or whatever, just in the note when you send in the donation, just put what it's for. If it's for Echoes of Asgard, just put EOA. And if it's for me, I don't want any, so don't send me any.
Yeah,
I just
send us Echoes of Asgard.
Yeah. We definitely need that to get the stuff that they're asking us to do.
But we also have a Kickstarter up and running. So if you go onto Kickstarter, you can actually search up Echoes of Asgard as well. We actually have a ton of rewards. So there's multiple tiers. So everyone will be rewarded something along the lines, whether it's just a thank you email, all the way up to executive producer credits. So it really depends on who's what people want, more or less.
And that's another cool thing is we really want to involve the fans of the show. We have a lot of really cool things planned. I'll put out just a tiny bit just to give you an idea. Aside from the normal, win a T-shirt or something like that, but we have a tremendous thing put together already. We're getting things in line for it, but there will be a way to be able to win an all expense paid stay to be on set for one day, and all your food and drinks are paid for, and whatever god that you want it under, you get to shadow that god for a day. So we want to just give everybody a chance, and it'll be anybody could win. I'm not going to say how yet, but it's going to be super easy to win. And we want to give people a chance to be part of the show. And we talked about, I don't want to say too much. I'm so afraid I'm going to give out this crucial stuff because it is a dog eat dog world, and we gotta look out for each other. And this is huge, so we don't want to just give it away to somebody.
Yeah, definitely don't give away too much.
Yeah, we want people to be able to trust us more than anything. And it's always a hard thing to gain, especially, some people can be very cautious around certain TV series coming out, people's expertise, you name it. So we're constantly going with things, and we want to make sure that people start to gain our trust, and obviously we're going to be as respectful as possible and want the best for everybody.
That's awesome. So when you're portraying the gods, because like I know some of the TV series that I've watched, when they portray Odin or they portray Thor or Floki, they don't. Because I know that within the Norse religion, depending on if you were a Danish, different dialects or different ethnicities of Vikings, because they were so broad. Everybody had a different style when it come to like Loki or Odin. So are you going to try to mesh that all together, or are you going to try to go by like a certain the word I'm looking for, like a certain
like a standard or whatever?
Yeah, like a certain standard. Yeah, something of that nature.
I mean, Chris, you want this or you want me to do it?
We could probably double team this one, but
right.
Honestly, it's really the development of the character themselves. I mean, when you even when you look at a character like Thor as an example, or even Odin for that matter, but I'll let him speak about that one. But Thor is and even kind of like Loki. Is he always a trickster? Is Thor always just stressed, angry? We don't know, and it's kind of like we can kind of gauge it that perhaps he is, or perhaps that character is. But then it's very rigid to kind of say, oh, he's just constantly angry, or he's just constantly just tormenting people with tricks, because these are kind of real life people, right? So we have to treat them as though they have family, they show some form of love or appreciation just during their daily lives. Things are constantly twisting and turning, and so they're adapting and evolving to that as it changes.
Yeah, and when it comes to like looks and whatnot, it's probably going to be more based on the Norse stylings, Icelandic in those areas. I'll talk about Odin because I'm playing Odin on the show, and in most people, when you see Odin, you think of him as this old frail guy. All right, I'm going to tell you, Odin he was a warrior. He was a badass warrior, and Thor is his child. So he had to have been something. He couldn't have just been always this old frail guy. When he first asked me to be a part of this, he wanted me to play Odin, and I agreed. And by the way, since I've started, I accepted. My gray hairs are just going out like crazy now. I don't know, but
that's what it was.
But yeah, so I envisioned, how do we want him to look? So at first I think, I wanted to look a little bit out of shape, just a little bit. So I purposely put on 15 pounds was my goal. But when you start eating more and all this good stuff, you forget where the limit was, right? So I ended up putting on 20. But then the more I thought about it, I would rather Odin be portrayed as what Odin was when he was king. He was king. And he was a badass warrior. And so I dropped the weight back down, which I've always been good at that. I'm able to gain and lose quick. So I got back down to 200 pounds, and Odin, when you see Odin, he's going to be a badass dude.
Nice.
So, we're just going to carry it on. And I think, he did become older, and you'll find out during the series how and why. And the cool thing about cameras and all that, you can do some trickery I could look really old.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then you learn little things along the way when you're doing this, filming just for social media. I'll tell you my trick: take a shower, use shampoo to wash your face, and when you get out, it's all dry. And when it's dry, you look wrinklier. So when you're doing filming, for social media, there's little tricks you can do. And lighting, lighting is great. But anyway, that's how kind of. Yeah, lighting is key.
Yeah, it definitely is key. Lighting is definitely key. So you're going to portray, the gods. Is there going to be, all right? So like Eric the Red and Red Bad and all of the, are you going to have characters portraying those or not, or how's the storyline going to kind of? I know you don't want to give away too much, but how's the storyline kind of going to go?
I think there's an easy answer for that one. Nothing is the limit, right? We're going all out on this, and it's not just going to be a 1 or 2 season thing. This is going to be big. I know I speak for both of us. We're not gonna shortchange it in any way, shape, or form. So there's going to be a lot of characters. Maybe not all at once, but there's going to be a lot of characters, a lot of storyline, a lot of twists, a lot of turns, a lot of, we're going to get the lore put out, the lore that has been written, that we know that has, been found and been translated by Jackson Crawford. He's a great one. That stuff will be put out, but we're not making a documentary. It's not going to be dry. So the lore is going out, but then there's going to be a lot of twists and turns, a lot of excitement, a lot of sadness, happiness. You'll feel everything. When you're done watching our show, you're going to be like, "Whoo, I can't wait till the next one drops." I love shows like that too, by the way.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love a good show that keeps a good storyline. When it gets dry, you can tell when a TV series has run its course and they kind of start repurposing material from earlier on,
Yeah.
and it's just real dry. Which with Vikings and doing the Norse, there's it. The lore's there. I mean, there's so much that you can research on, and you can go on for season after season, and still not even uh, scratch the surface somewhat.
Which nobody has at this point. That's the
Right.
thing.
Right.
And another really cool thing is we're not doing this half-ass, right? We're warriors too, right? We're going full battle rattle. We have an amazing team set up already of people that have more PhDs than I have whiskers on my face. These guys are intense. A lot of them, well, one or two is from Iceland. And we've spoke with a lot of people that cover the lore and Norse mythology and stuff in Iceland, and they are absolutely on fire in love with what we're getting ready to do with this, bringing out some of the more modern stuff. Because let's face it, if you're a warrior, you're a modern Viking, So they're just super excited, and again, we're not going to shortchange this, and I feel like a lot of shows have done that. They've really just focused on maybe some of the Viking culture, which is great, but and then they'll scrape the gods and goddesses. So we're not going to scrape it. We're going to put them out there to show you what they are, kind of the struggles they've been through, and the struggle between father and son. You got Thor and Odin. And not a lot of people know a ton about that, but it's there. So we're going to be bringing that out front and forward, and at the relationship between Sif and Thor, and Frigg and Odin. So it's going to show that the gods were vulnerable. They're real, but they're gods, and they also have things they have to take care of. So
Heck yeah. You got any questions up there? You're awful quiet.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here being intrigued, man. I'm taking it all in, and it's crazy that you're going the North route. So there's a university here in Northern Kentucky. So it's Northern Kentucky University, and their mascot is the Norse. So that's where my son is going right now. So I keep hearing that over and over, and I'm like, and their mascot is a Viking, but yeah,
nice.
it's the Northern Kentucky University Norse is who they are. So every time you say that, I'm like, they're going to be at the college. Wait a minute. No, but no. And then again, we talked earlier, doing that DNA test, and that's my whole lineage is back over that way somewhere, for the most part. And yeah, I can't wait for this stuff to come out, and I'm going to have to start doing a deeper dive into the Norse culture and those gods and what they stood for, and just to have a better understanding of what the show is and what you guys are doing.
Well, definitely go ahead.
No, well, technically, the Vikings did raid this area of the map, so
Yeah.
there's always a possibility. And even with the British, even with my accent, originally from England, so yeah.
Yeah, and we're not going to be able to do this especially early on. Again, I talked about these hoops, right? When you get into this industry, there's a lot of hoops you have to please bigger people to have lots of money, and it's going to take the whole team. And then I'm talking team, I'm talking community, I'm talking, if you're interested, help out any way you can, and I'm not begging for money, but it takes money. It does. And that's one of the hardest parts of doing a show is the money. So if you get a good community together and you are honest and truthful and trustworthy, and show that you are a good person, good things will happen. And that's what I always tell everybody too. If you go out and you plant a field full of crap, what are you going to grow? A bunch of crap. Yeah. If you go plant a field full of corn or beautiful roses or trees or whatever, and you take care of it, nurture it, it's going to be a beautiful field. And that's how life is too. You can't go out there being a crappy person and expect beautiful things. You have to go out there and put the work in and nurture and be a good person. So I don't know why I felt like I should say that, but I felt like I should say it, so I did.
No, you hit it. It's something that we talk about on HomeFront Sitrep is, being that beautiful person, being somebody's stranger and stuff like that. So no, that's perfect. You fit right in with that. And I'm gonna piggyback off of kind of what Gunny was talking about, with researching, the Norse mythology and Viking mythology, and learning more about the gods, because a lot of the TV series that's out there, I'm not going to call them out, they don't really they don't really touch on the gods. Like, they mention the gods, but they don't really touch on the gods per se. So I think that you guys are going to have the gods as one of the primary focus. I think that's friggin' amazing, because they're some of the Norse gods like Odin and Freya and Thor and Loki. They played an integral part in the Vikings back in the day, you know. So I think it's super cool, and you can translate some of the pagan gods over to gods of today. The goddess of fertility and stuff like that. So it's just amazing how you can translate the two, but really people don't understand how the Vikings back in the day, how they worshiped the gods, and the gods did everything. Just sacrificing children to have a good crop next year, or so there was just all kinds of things that went on back in the day that people just don't understand.
Well, I mean,
and-
even in school, you learn about Greek mythology, Roman mythology, but you don't learn about the Nordic and the Norse or anything there, right? And there's so much history there. And just like Rome and Greece, people are still living in the regions where the Vikings and the Norse were worshipped, and they're still being worshipped, right? So that's something that hasn't been brought true to the forefront, right? You see certain movies that portray, we said earlier, Odin or Loki or Thor, and it's always in the same form, right? And with what you guys want to do, especially doing Odin as a younger Odin, right? And more of like in his prime than the old frail, on the deathbed, and who's going to take over the kingdom type deal, like that's been portrayed in the past.
Yeah, and Marvel, they did a good job, but they really did add some strangeness about some of the gods that they've brought out, and my hat's off to them. They did a good job, but that's why another reason why we kind of wanted to just show the truth about what has been written about the gods, and how we have evolved as a person, as a people, even since then, because like a lot of religions used to do a lot of different sacrifices for certain things. And, and really you brought up a really cool point, is different religions, how they kind of mesh together. Well, in the researching, you find that pretty much most faiths, practices, journeys, some call it religions, they just kind of all come together. They're all very, very similar. So that being said, my eyes were already open, but it really opened my eyes when I saw that and said, you know what? If your path is your path and you feel good on it, by all means do it. And that's how it should be. Nobody should be beating anybody up over literally or figuratively over their path. It doesn't matter where they're falling. If they feel good about their journey and their path, then let them do it. And it's we really want to bring that on the show as well. So this show's going to be pretty deep, as far as certain areas, and other areas is going to be pretty funny. There's going to be a lot of comedy in it as well. There also is going to be, I have to say it, there's going to be some Easter eggs. You guys will have to watch for them. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, I'm excited just to watch it. I'm excited to watch it, and hopefully you'll get picked up by one of these Netflix or Amazon Prime or something like that, and they can carry your series on there, which would be amazing, just to watch it, because I know, for me, I'm excited. I'm hoping all of our watchers out there, because right now we're sitting at 31 watchers on TikTok. We have like 20 something in here right now at the current moment in time. I'm hoping all of these guys are excited about it as well, because I know I am. And if you're out there and you're watching, you're listening, and you want to be a part of Echoes of Asgard, the link scrolling on the bottom of the screen, Valhalla Viking V2K.com. Go there in the middle of the screen, click on that, do what you need to do there. And then also there's a donate button there. So if you're a veteran and you got deep pockets and you want to donate to a project that's friggin' going to be amazing, go donate. Get your name up there written in as an executive producer or something of that nature. Because we all know it takes money to produce movies and TV series. So let's help our brothers out here, man. That's what we're all about, is helping each other. I told y'all earlier beforehand that I'm going to get you connected with a couple people that I know that have produced some TV shows that are veterans. So I'm going to get you guys connected with them. And then I'm going to start pushing your stuff out to some other people that I know that are veterans that have some deep pockets, and be like, hey, how about getting your name or your company in credits with Echoes of Asgard? So that's what we're gonna try to do for you guys, because that's what we're all about here at Homefront Sitrep, is making that connection and helping our brothers and sisters out there. So I'm all here for it, man.
Well, you definitely appreciate it. That's for sure. It's going to take a community, and what better place to start as our own community, and that's vets. And look out for each other. That's what we do. That's what we've been. Some of us would say it was beat into us. Some of us would say we just learned it. But look out for each other, help each other out, and have everybody's six, is what we call it. Watch each other's back and support each other, and especially in today's day. And Chris, I know he is huge on this, is the mental health side. We all struggle. We struggle hard. I mean, some of us struggle even harder than others. And some of us, like myself, when I start to struggle, I kind of go off in my corner. I don't know if that's the best for everybody else, but that, for me, that's sort of been working. I'm almost 48 years old, believe it or not. No, actually, I'm almost 50. Wait, I'll be 49. Oh man, I'm all over the place. I'll be 49 this year. You know what? When you get close to my age, it doesn't even freaking matter anymore.
It don't matter. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just old. All right. But no, look out for each other. And I tell people this all the time. It's okay. We are human. We've been trained to do some good things, right? Some heavy things. But we also still have a human side in us, and, reach out to people, reach out to get help or help. Because it's a struggle, and once you're in your head and you can't get out of your head, sometimes it takes just that one battle buddy to help pull you out of it and get you, shake you to life. Hey, this is what we got to do now. Come on now, get back on track. And it's okay. What I call it is let the poisons out. We have these ducks right here.
Yeah, they
do a lot of great for us. I do it a lot, not all the time. I don't run around, the store going, no, I don't do that. But there's times that I have to go sit alone and just let that poison come out. Let it out. Yeah. You'll be surprised. It's helpful. Yeah. And don't be ashamed of it. I'm certainly not ashamed of it. I'm proud to say that I'll let it out. So just really look out for each other, because I know a lot of people are struggling, and man, I wish nobody would struggle, to be honest. But you know what? When we struggle, it makes us stronger. Just remember that. Yeah. Failure is actually not a bad thing. It's actually gives you knowledge.
What don't kill us?
It's a good learning tool.
And I'm actually going to piggyback off of you, because it's for anyone that is watching, and you got a fantastic community, by the way. For anyone watching and you're kind of cautious about, do I take that next step to be an actor, go into the position of a director, or learn that, or be an assistant director? Take the jump. We're here for you just as much as you're here for the show. Because you guys are important to this, and the American dream still exists, and you'll get people these days that may throw shade at you, that may try and be dishonorable or mistreat you because of the dream that you want to have. We're for you, so all you need to do is worry about talking to us, because those people, they're gonna be upset in life because
let them kick rocks. That.
Yeah.
Let them kick rocks.
Yeah. I tell you, Lauren down here, she's a TikToker. Lauren here, uh, I think she'd be a good Freya. Uh, just throwing that out there. I think she'd be a good Freya. I don't know if y'all have Freya cast already, but I think she'd be a good Freya. So, man, it's almost 8:00, and you haven't done the row yet. Yeah, it's almost, it's an hour already. It's went by really fast. You haven't done the row yet, so we have to do it.
All right. Before I do the row, just so everybody knows, the row has been epic. It's been all over TikTok. We have creators of 4 to 5 to 20 million followers that know about the row of the Valhalla Viking. And I want to tell everybody right now that's watching, the row stands for a lot. It means a hell of a lot to me and our kingdom and our community. The row stands for stop the hate, lead with love, be proud of each other. We are all equal. And we, the people of the world, we're coming to.
Where'd it go?
Where did he go?
Lauren, we could teach you to be an actor or actress, whatever you want. Where did he go? We lost him.
Oh man,
he'll have
Is
to
he
come
not-
back. Yeah, we don't know where he went.
His video went out and his audio went out, but he's still showing here, which
Oh.
is weird.
he might be loading.
We'll see. Maybe he's going to put his costume on.
Man,
I don't know. It went out midstream, so
Yeah, when
You didn't tell me about that.
right after the hearts, like he did the
Here we
hearts,
go.
and
Oh,
he did the hearts, and then he was gone. I don't know how I get the hearts to go on the screen. That was
yeah,
did
he
the
just
hearts.
did the
pretty cool.
little deal, the little heart,
And
I
then
can't
hearts
think of
started.
it. And then they just
Yeah.
all freaking popped up. Maybe that's something that he has, on his stuff. It
Maybe
says
Carrie
yes.
said he pushed buttons.
Oh, there we go. Hey,
You're back.
Yeah.
don't ever push buttons. Okay, so I'm a Viking. I'm a Dav. Okay, I'll tell you, when I was in the army,
Carrie was
I
right.
was on the
Carrie
I was
said
on the
he pushed
tanks.
buttons, I bet.
I did. And everybody that knows me, I like to poke things, and it happens. But I was in the army. I was a 19 kilo. I was on the Abrams tanks, and they called us they called us DATs, DAT, right? Which stood for dumbass tanker. Okay. So now I carried over to, I'm a Viking, right? So now I'm just a Dav, a dumbass Viking. Anyway, so I push buttons, and then weird things happen, and you can't keep anything nice around me. It's a thing. But
All right, do it
anyway,
again. Start all over.
all right, we'll start all over. The row is actually pretty famous on TikTok. You could ask a lot of people, they'll say, oh yeah, I know the row, that's Valhalla Viking. But no, the row stands for stopping the hate, leading with love, be proud of each other. Be proud of each other. I tried to get the hearts to fly again, they wouldn't. And we are all equal. We are, every one of us are equal, and we the people of the world, and we're coming together like never before. Remember to defend yourself and each other with extreme ferocity, because that is important. You have to defend yourself. Don't sit and watch somebody get bullied and film them. Don't do that. Go help them, man. Anyway, that bothers me. So anyway, that is what the row stands for. So every time you see and hear that row, that's what you have to think of. That's what it stands for. And this is for every one of you guys. Here you go. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Row to Valhalla.
Love it, man. I love it. I always love when you do that, because you got the thunder and lightning playing in the background. I love it. I love it.
You could almost feel it, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then the echo too, it pulls you in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it comes from the fjords. That's what that sound is. Yeah, and that's how the TV series is going to be, you guys. It's going to be like that. I'm telling you, it's going to be a roller coaster of love, sadness, happiness. Oh, it's going to be all of them. It's going to be great.
Oh yeah, I love it. Yeah, I dude, it's phenomenal. I love it. And when I'm watching your lives and you do that, when people send you gifts and stuff like that, and it's just, man, it just
Keeps it active.
makes you Yeah, just
Makes you want to come. Let's go. Let's get together. Let's go.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Yeah.
Well,
Good.
do you guys got any parting statements before I let you go back in the green room and me and Gunny close out the show?
No, I want to say that I'm very glad and thankful for your sponsors in Heroes Media Group and Wreaths Across America Radio. All of you guys, thank you for supporting these guys and supporting the vets, the community. It's a all of us earned this right. All of us earned this position, and we take it with a great sense of pride and respect. And I want to say personally to Willis and Samuel, thank you guys for doing what you do. And all the vets out there, I love you guys. Much love to each and every one of you. Keep your head up. You guys are all freaking amazing. And we're gonna do all this together. We're gonna do this together in a big way. So I'm just excited to be a part of this as well now. So I want to say thank you.
Awesome.
No,
Chris?
thank you guys for coming on and opening up.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, thank you to all the vets out there. Thank you for supporting them as well. Because honestly, your channel is phenomenal. I know there's a number of different veteran channels out there, but yeah, thank you for the hospitality, for bringing us on and giving us a voice as well. Veteran to another.
Awesome.
I'm trying to get these hearts.
Thank you.
I know I was trying to get it to come on mine too, but it ain't. But no, thank you guys for coming on and spending this hour with us. I could probably talk to you for another hour, but unfortunately, Race Across America says, hey, we got to keep it within that time restraint on us. But no, so what I'm going to do for you guys, so we have a lot of veteran podcasters that we're friends with that we do a tip of the spear with at the end of the month, and I'm going to send out your information to them and say, hey, let's get these guys on your show to talk about Echoes of Asgard, and get you connected with all these different podcasters. So you're on their show. People in different parts of the country can come on and listen to you guys and what you do. I'm just excited to see the series when it comes to fruition. So if you're out there, donate money. If you want to be part of the cast, go to the website. It was scrolling across the screen. It's also in chat as well. Go on there, click on it if you want to be an actor, or if you run the camera or anything. There you go. It's up there. Right there's the website right there. Do anything. So get connected. It takes a community, and we as veterans, we have a community. So let's support Echoes of Asgard. Guys, thank you again. I'm going to drop you back in the green room. Me and Gunny's going to close out the show, and then we'll chit chat at the end.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Dude, how cool was that?
Yeah, very, very, very cool.
Yeah, it's not very often that Gunny gets very quiet.
Not well, very often. And then that row just friggin' pulled me in, makes me want to rip my shirt off, but I don't want to have to buy another one. And nobody wants to see this.
Yeah. No, it's definitely don't want to see that with me either. So we talk every Sunday, every Monday, and we talk about the community that we've built and the TikTok community, and we talk about everything. And we need to come together to support. And when I saw this, and he was talking about it, and I was like, dude, let's bring him on the show. I was like, it's going to be a great episode, and it was. It's an amazing episode. Valhalla Viking and Chris was amazing. They did not disappoint, and I can't wait to see it. My wife will tell you I watch weird stuff all the time. Like I watch a Japanese show with subtitles on, and I can, their mouth is moving and the words are not coming up yet. So I'm excited to see Echoes of Asgard. For one, I love Norse mythology, so I'm super excited, man. So it's about that time. Hey, Marla, how are you? Gunny, this is you, my friend.
Yeah, you're not alone. You still have worth. You still have value. You have to find your own reset. What works for me isn't going to work for Willis. What works for Willis might not work for me. You have to find your own. it's okay to be not okay. And once you realize that, it's okay to have post-traumatic stress. It's okay to have traumatic brain injury, but you still need to find what gives you your reset, what gives you solace. And, from now on, it's going to be that row.
Oh yeah, dude. I'm gonna have to. I, I'm gonna tell him I'm gonna record that, and that's gonna be something that I put somewhere in between at the episode somewhere. It's gonna show up on Homefront Sitrep just so he knows. I'm gonna be playing that quite a bit probably. Uh, yeah, so you definitely are not alone. If you think you're alone, you're not. This right here, hashtag be someone stranger. Man, I can't stress this enough. We as humans, not just veterans, but we as humans, we are more apt to talk to a complete stranger than the ones we love the most. So be somebody's stranger or let somebody be your stranger. Don't become one of the 22. Let somebody be your stranger, whether it's Sam, whether it's me, whether it's Valhalla Viking. Sh- Get on TikTok, find a veteran community or find a community within TikTok and let them be your stranger because we don't want to talk to our wives or our children and let them know the struggles that we're facing daily. So let somebody be your stranger. And there's great communities on TikTok, there's great communities on Facebook that somebody will listen to you and not try to fix. Because I'm not looking for a fix some days. Some days I'm just looking for somebody to listen and let me vent what's going on with me in my day-to-day life. So just be somebody's stranger out there. That's what we ask. Um, and then you have to ask that next hard question because I can go up to Gunny and say, "Hey, Gunny, how you doing today?" And Gunny's going to respond with
Hanging in there. I'm all
hanging in
right.
there.
I'm okay.
But if I really ask Gunny, "Hey, Gunny, how you really doing today?"
Shit
And
day, brother.
Gunny's, yeah, he's going to say it's a shitty day and he's going to open up and say, "Hey, this is what's going on with me." So ask that next hard question because you never know. That 5-minute conversation, 15-minute conversation, 5-hour conversation might save that person from becoming one of the 22. So definitely ask the next hard question. You have to, Lauren. But you're awful at opening up to anyone. I will tell you something real quick, sis. The more you talk about your struggles, um, the easier it gets. Um, and I know you have a lot of struggles right now. But the more you talk with somebody who's a complete stranger, and Lauren, the community that you've got on TikTok um, is there to support you 100% of the way. So the more you talk about your struggles, the easier it will get.
Yeah.
I'm a
And
veteran.
whatever happened is not going to go away, right?
Yeah,
It's always going to be part of you. But the burden of taking that one thing out of your pack and dropping it. And
yeah,
how many times you take that one thing out of the pack and drop it, that pack gets lighter. The burden will
yeah.
always be there. It'll always be part of your life. It will always be part of your past. But you don't have to let it define you.
Amen.
My wife and my kids know my entire life story because it was put in front of national TV years ago. And it's still hard for me to talk about it in front of them because it affects them and it affected them and it affects my life still today. So take it as it will, one thing out of the pack at a time. Even if it's that same thing, you keep taking out of the pack, that pack gets lighter.
Yeah, definitely. And Mission 22 is something that a lot of organizations out there focus on. And I'm going to play this video. I just have to play this video. So I was challenged by Black Dog Community to take a pie to the face in January for Mission 22 awareness. I challenged Gunny and Ty Cobb from Triple Threat Vets podcast to do their pie in the face. So I'm gonna play this video. because I get a laugh every time I see it, and it makes my heart happy.
My name is Samuel Deeds. I am the co-host for the HomeFront Sitrep podcast. I was challenged by our host, David Willis, to take a pie to the face for Mission 22. Ever since Willis challenged me last week, the boys have been chomping at the bit to see which one of them is going to get to do it. So here we go. A little Rochambeau to see who gets the pie dad. Beautiful. 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 I challenge my teammate, Matt Miller from Team Fast Tracks, and my friend Ferd Lohman to take a pie to the face for Mission 22. You have to the end of March. You two will take and then challenge 2 veterans of your choice.
Dude, I love it. I just love his jump and no hesitation. Boom. You know, he waited years to do that, Dad.
18 years he's waited for that. And he's still talking about it today. I was like, dude, seriously?
Oh, I guarantee he's showing all of his friends the video. I guarantee he's showing everybody the video.
Oh, for sure. I wouldn't be surprised if he's not showing his professors at college. Look what I got to do this weekend.
For sure.
I mean, how many kids can say they got to friggin' pie their own, parent? Especially like that. I mean, he friggin' smoked me good, man. Did you hear the impact on that?
Yeah. It was, bro. It was, Well, it's that time of night, Gunny. I'm not even going to play any of our videos tonight. As you can hear, my dogs are going crazy upstairs. But anyway, guys, it's that time of night. Like we say, always on HomeFront Sitrep. Stay safe out there. We got your 6.
We got your 6.
Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed the show.
Suggestions and comments are always welcome.
Cannot wait to have another great show with y'all.
Don't forget you can find HomeFront Sitrep on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
Stay safe out there. I got your 6.